welcome to PipeCast. Welcome to our next First Impression Last Review episode. This time it is on GLP's Windjammer, and I'll let Zach talk a little bit more about that.
All right, so what we got set up here, we've got Burley, Red Virginia, Black Cavendish, and Perique. We're looking at Windjammer. You can see in this broken flake, which is pretty, it was hard to get like a really consistent chunk. It looks like you can see some of that darker Black Cavendish running along with some of the Perique. And I imagine just the pressing and everything probably made that Virginia just a little bit darker. I know that they're not hot pressing or anything, but I wanted to add Captain Earl's Honor blend in this because I think that these two are a very comparable blend. They do match up pretty well. So I wanted to see if there was some consistency, but it does look like the Captain Earl's Honor blend is much, much lighter. So I think that this has a much healthier portion of Black Cavendish and Perique. So that's a little explanation of the makeup of Windjammer. Nice little broken flake. So today, Patrick is going to be doing our first impression of this tobacco blend.
Yeah, and I just lit this up, and on first light, it's very peppery to me. Probably the most peppery blend I've ever smoked. Like I'm not even trying to retrohale, and it just feels like it's sort of forcing its way up there. And I've been smoking a lot of vapors the last month or so, and none of them's really been like this. You know, it could always be, this is a smaller bowl, maybe that has some parts to play, but I've been smoking vapors in a variety of shapes and sizes. I can't get past that pepper. It's sort of just up front, all up in my sinuses, kind of. But it's actually enjoyable. I mean, I sort of like it. It's sort of like that, you know, the enjoyment you get from wasabi, kind of. You know, I mean,
Right.
if it's too much, then you're in trouble. But just the right amount's nice, and this is sort of pleasant in that way. I may have to ponder on it a little bit more to sort of, like I said, this is, I just did the True Light like just now, and I may have to try to piece the rest of this out. But my first impression is just peppery.
Very peppery. It does seem to have a pretty healthy portion of Perique in it.
Yeah.
Which would give some of that peppery spice to it.
So this came out, what, 2-3 weeks ago? 1st of February?
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you had this? This is year 10.
I haven't had it very long, so I cracked it on Monday. And I've been smoking on it, the previous Monday, so I've had it for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I've been smoking on it on and off for 2 weeks, just trying to kind of get a feel of it. We kind of wanted to get this episode in a little bit because it seems like it's so new and so like interesting, but there's nothing really online about it other than just a couple of reviews. So it would have been wiser to us just to go ahead and start smoking it. With this particular blend, what comes to mind is Captain Earl's Honor blend, which is it's like a vapor, but it does have Black Cavendish. I think the Black Cavendish is sweetened, which is probably telling of this blend because I think that the sweetening aspect to the Captain Earl's sort of mirrors the rum aspect to Windjammer. The rum is super light. You're not going to really, it does not do anything but give sort of a slight touch of sweetness. It's very nutty. So I think the Burleys are really robust and upfront too. So I think you're really looking at like a Burper blend with a touch of Virginia. I know I can taste citrus and stuff in there, but the Burley and the Perique are up front really heavy. The Black Cavendish sort of, I think, mellows everything out, kind of gives it this smooth flavor profile. And I think that the Black Cavendish is where all those rum notes are being hidden inside the tobacco. As a matter of fact, it it'd probably be interesting just to flavor the Black Cavendish and just blend it in with the Broken Flake. But I mean, I don't know how they would blend it, but that would seem like a really good thing. Not taint the other things, but allow the aroma of the Black Cavendish to be in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And just, coat the Black Cavendish. But I think it is an unflavored Black Cavendish, I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
And it smokes really well. I think I actually prefer the flavored Cavendish of Captain Earl's Honor Blend. And that might be because I'm a twinge, like, more interested in aromatics as of late. So the sweetness really doesn't affect me, but I'm so used to kind of having a sweetness inside my bowl just from Lakeland blends and things that I've been smoking that have these sort of more saccharine, flavor profiles, just really sugary. That's probably what I'm leaning towards. Windjammer to me is the sort of, unsweetened version of the Captain Earl's Honor Blend. So if you've actually tried Captain Earl's before, the Honor Blend, and you thought that maybe it was just a little bit too sweet, this actually is probably the blend for you, because all of the other characteristics, the nuttiness, the pepperiness, and then that slight just little touch of Virginia, like citrus and grass, is in there. So it really is a really good blend. I think it is a winter spring blend for me. I don't think I would probably smoke it in the summer or fall personally, because it's just not vapor enough to be a fall blend, and it's just lacking that Latakia that would make it that full Virginia that would make it a summer blend. But the complexity of it allows you to get a break from the Latakia that you're smoking in the winter. And it is light enough that as the seasons change, it's still pretty good. So when you're in that spring kind of momentum, it's a good transitional blend as I would be moving from Latakia to more Virginia Burley. Yeah. So I really like this blend. I think it's like a really good in the middle of the road, like transitional blend between seasons, because I kind of am a seasonal smoker. Based on, blends, I'll just kind of transition from this to that. So this is a really good sort of in between, like, oh, I'm really into heavy Latakia, but like, I'm going to try to slowly move into Virginia Burley for, just because they're lighter blends in my opinion. This is a perfect middle ground. And then probably even more so, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in between summer and fall, you could actually retransition back to just straight vapor with this blend. So these would be like what I would call an April-August smoke. So as I'm starting to gear up towards like Virginia or more aromatic flavors, or as I'm starting to gear down to more vapor blends from Virginia, this would be that perfect kind of blend.
And now, I could be wrong, but isn't Captain Earl's blended by Cornell and Dill as well?
It is.
Okay.
But it is not a Cornell and Dill blend. No. It's not like their blend. I don't think it's actually described as Cornell and Dill. I think Captain Earl is its own thing. And it's much like GLP's is its own thing, but blended by Cornell and Dill. I don't think Captain Earl, is associated outside of blending with Cornell and Dill.
But now, if they're the blenders, then the components of a GLP's blend and a Captain Earl blend will be from the same batch, more or less. Could be.
Could be, yeah. They could have the same lot. It depends, Like when you get to that level of blending, I imagine that you get to go through and test out your own lots. And, you would have your own recipes and stuff that you would bring to the table. How Cornell and Dill offers up their lots or their, I assume, bales of tobacco to, prospective blenders is a mystery to me. But yeah, potentially if Pease or Captain Earl's doesn't have a proprietary bale that is just theirs exclusively, then I imagine that some of these same components can come from the same years of Virginia. But I think it's really less the taste and the tobacco for me being similar, and it's the similarity of the blend itself.
Yeah, how they come together.
A little bit more burley up front, lighter Virginia, more, robust Perique blend with either rum additive sweetener or just a flavored Cavendish. But they're both really good blends.
I haven't had the Captain Earl's, so I can't really make a comparison there. But I will say, talking about the rum, on the 10 note, I can sort of smell it. It has a rum, but also it smelled like a Fig Newton kind of to me. The 10 note did. Of course, that did not transfer at all in the smoke. That pepper that I was talking about, pepperiness, has sort of calmed down, and I'm sort of picking up on those burley qualities you were talking about, the nutty oatiness, I guess, of it. Um, I'm still having a hard time picking up any kind of grass.
It's light.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't be able to get that out of it. But
And the thing is it's going to be masked up so heavily by that Perique, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that Perique is that was like a punch. Sort of like how the Oriental was a punch to you for Goblin Mixture. It sort of just hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're not expecting it.
Yeah. Well, that was more the Virginia though that got you, right. It was
I think it was that sour.
Yeah.
And that sort of citrus strength of Virginia.
Yeah.
If you're not super ready for it, that's there. Oriental can have the same sort of sour flavors that can like really just get right into your sinuses. You can feel it right along this area. It's just one of those things. If you're, sort of at your own risk when you're doing a filler episode, if you're the first impression, because you're really supposed to go in dead blind outside of maybe some perusing.
Yeah.
And then, then the last review follows the lead of that first impression. So, we try not to discuss it too much. That way, someone really is getting kind of a blind understanding of what they're smoking.
Yeah, and all I knew about the blend was that I knew that it was in a vapor style. I didn't even know that there was burley in it. I didn't even look at what was in it. I just knew, I think, that it was in the family of vapor, kind of, or that it was Perique heavy, and I sort of had to discipline myself from watching any kind of review videos, because there's been a few like Zach mentioned, but I think there's scheduled to be more. So, but with that, I think we can. I don't know if I've said it already, but I mean, it's a good blend. I'd recommend it. I'd recommend trying it.
I definitely recommend it. It is going to be. To me, it would never be a rotational blend. It'd be a transitional blend. And as long as it's readily available, you can always just grab some and then transition in season. And that's probably how I'd handle it. The likelihood of me going through a 10 of this, I think is going to be pretty rare.
Okay.
I'd just, sit through. I mean, it'd be something I'd force myself. So if I jarred it up, actually, I think it probably aged pretty well. Just because it seems like it might be a little bit more subdued with a touch of age, but I would buy 10, jar it up, use it as a transitional blend, but not something that I would put on a regular rotation.
Yeah, I probably would tend to agree with that. So we hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you come back for some more. So
yeah, thank you.